It's showtime.
Hey, welcome to Did You Watch Survivor Last Night? This is the only Survivor podcast. My name is Jake Scheidel. Each week I ask my best friend, Thomas Powell, if he did indeed watch a certain reality show. Hey, Thomas. How you doing this week?
Jake, I'm doing great. I made it through April Fool's without being made a fool, which is one of the only goals of my entire year. So I'm feeling pretty good about that.
I love to hear that. And since it is now a later date in April, it is April Squares Day. So did you want to reveal a truth? And this is something we're going to do every week in April now that it is an April Fool's Day. Reveal one truth on April Squares Day.
I have never broken... No, that's wrong. I broke a toe. I can't say that anymore. Man.
You broke a toe?
April Squares... like a couple years ago, I had like a really minor avulsion fracture, so it wasn't anything super serious. But, April Squares Day. On April Squares Day, you tell the truth. We all know that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm drinking a cherry cola right now.
Okay, 2 facts for the price of 1. On my April Squares Day, I'll say I broke my leg because I slipped on some ice and fell directly on a train track when the train was coming, and it was very scary. And then my job fired me because they couldn't bother paying the insurance. You know, insurance is so expensive for these corporations.
It's true. They just don't have the money to pay for that.
They're honestly the victims here, not me. So I broke my leg there. That was the first injury in a long time. I also fractured my wrist in 3rd grade weeks before a skiing trip. So I wasn't allowed to go skiing because of the cast on my arm.
I went on that skiing trip. You didn't miss much.
Well, I mean, I would have liked to learn how to ski. 32 years old, still don't know how to ski.
I'm going to tell you right now, if I went back out there, I wouldn't remember shit. I mean, I remember what everyone remembers, which is pizza, French fries, which I've already taught you that now.
Tell me more. April Squares Day, you have to tell the truth about pizza and French fries.
If you want to go,
you
make the skis look like French fries. They're just pointing straight forward. If you want to stop, you make the skis look like pizza. You point them towards each other.
How do I do a Tokyo Drift?
I'm assuming that you do the pizza, but you like shift your body weight to the side a little bit. You've seen them do that in movies.
I have seen them do that in movies. I do watch a lot of skiing movies. As you may or may not know, Thomas and listeners to this podcast, it is my mom's fault for breaking my arm, but apparently it makes her really sad when I bring that up. So
didn't she? You've told me about this. Didn't she slam your hand in the car door or something?
Yeah, she decided to close the door in our minivan while I was closing the door from the inside, and the angle was such that I just bent my arm in such a way that it fractured. And then we went to church the next day, and I kept complaining about how bad my arm hurt and was told, don't worry about it. And then like a week later, we went into the doctors, and they were like, oh, yeah, this is pretty bad. We're going to put you in a cast. But now I've got 2 working hands, so I'm actually fine and not mad at all.
Triumphed over adversity. And you've got something you can guilt trip your mom about forever.
That's what everybody needs in America. And around the world. Of course, Survivor is a global show. They go all over the world, every continent except for one. I think.
Antarctica?
2. Yeah. I don't think they've ever done a season in any European place.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But they've done America, they've done South America, North America, they've done all the Americas, they've done Africa, they've done Asia, they've done Australia, and all of the islands in between all of those places on a little show called Survivor. Thomas, did you watch Survivor 44 last night?
Jake, I certainly did.
And what did you think of this week's episode title, The Third Turd?
I thought it was pretty good.
Pretty fucking good. Pretty good. Whoever's titling the episodes this year is doing a good job. I love that. Third Turd. Very funny. So Jam Jam and Krylin argue over the fire. I don't remember what this was about. To be honest, it was a while ago that I watched this episode.
They were arguing about Carolyn eliminating Sarah
That happened so long ago.
and then
kinda
having
forgot.
no plan going forward after that whatsoever. Just doing it just to
Game
do
of
it.
inches. It's a game of inches, actually. Inches in the sand.
I can't fucking
This is
I
what we
can't
are.
fucking take Carolyn on this show anymore, man. They got to get her out
I
of
love
the.
her.
You got to get her. She's
I love
she
her.
is
She's my
bad.
favorite
She's
person.
bad at the game.
How do you? Why? How do you say that?
Like, it's so annoying that because she, like, everyone was so unobservant of her basically, like, falling down a flight of stairs and, like, hitting a bunch of trash cans and making a bunch of noise, getting the idol. And everyone just let her do it. Like, I just don't, like, what is the angle with her? Why did you
can't
get
keep
rid of
getting away
Sarah?
with it.
Why did you get rid of Sarah?
You are like everybody else on this tribe in that you're very dismissive of how good at this game she actually is.
I've seen her play. They
We've been
literally
watching,
she has a conversation with Jam Jam where Jam Jam is like, why didn't you just talk to me? What was the point of
Yeah.
this? And she was like, I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I think maybe it's like she's playing it up a little bit so people underestimate her.
No, that is not what this is at all.
I think it is. And I support Carolyn in all of her efforts.
And also, it's so funny that she was like, I'm gonna, like, you gotta commit to this shit, because she does it and gets into an alliance with Josh, and then immediately is like, I don't think this guy's trustworthy. I should go back to Jam Jam. It's like, what was the point of this? You could have had numbers against him. You could have done this the week before.
It's just inches in the sand, baby.
And it wasn't to save herself. It was there was no reason for it other than that her feelings were hurt. That was it.
Yeah, of course, it's a social game. Vote the people out who make you mad or try to knock them down a peg. I completely support Carolyn in all of her efforts, again.
It's just funny to do that and then to be like, well, I don't know why everyone's so mad at me about it. I still want to play with Jam Jam. I don't get why Jam Jam doesn't trust me now.
Meanwhile, over on Ratatouille, MGM's pain is getting worse. They should put a pharmacist mouse up in that head.
I agree.
Enough of these cooks. Too many cooks, not enough pharmacists. Carson is someone who can open up to. Someone is who... let me try that again. Carson is someone who people can open up to. Okay, that does make sense. I think I missed a word the first time I read that. Anyway, Carson, good stuff. I'm liking Carson.
I disagree. Carson simulates human emotion. He does not experience it.
You hate everything I love. Kane wants to make a Smart Guys alliance with Carson. Did you hate this as well?
I think that it's a bad idea for Kane because Carson is using him like he's using everyone else in that tribe.
Wow.
He's literally saying it to the camera. He's like, everyone's telling me stuff I can use against them. It's great.
Yeah, I'm not shocked by you accusing Carson of using people. I'm shocked by you calling Kane stupid, who's actually a very smart guy, and
He's a smart guy. Would he be in
a
a smart guy alliance if he wasn't smart? Exactly.
Yeah. So, check and mate, another smart guy thing. Over there, they're playing checkers, but over here with Kane and the Smart Guy Alliance, they're playing chess. Smart Guy's game. They're playing Monopoly.
They're playing diplomacy.
Risk. They're playing diplomacy. We're playing civilization. They're playing civilization. We're playing Settlers of Catan over here.
Yeah, we're playing Crusader Kings or whatever.
So, Ratatouille might be playing Crusader Kings or whatever, but over on Soka, Danny is leading a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu breathing exercise. Different strokes, different folks, you know?
A lot of breathing in this season. There's a lot of breathing.
So true, bestie.
Entirely too much breathing.
I love it. I know you said that yoga was too hard for you or whatever, but now that I have a working leg again, I'm doing it all the time. Love it. I love this stuff. I love the breathing exercises. I want to do it all the time. Breathing is good for you, actually. Did you know this?
See, you're falling into the thing that always eventually pushes me away from yoga, beyond just the routine of it being hard to keep up with, which is, it's annoying. It's an annoying thing. There's no way to avoid being annoying about it.
It's literally just stretching your body for 10 minutes.
The stretching is good, but
morning.
it always becomes this thing where people, it's like it becomes a lifestyle thing. It becomes an identity thing, and it gets really annoying when it's that.
No, I'm just spreading the good word of the gospel of the Lord and Savior yoga. That's a joke, of course. I just want you to stretch, make your bodies feel good, make your bones feel
Stretching
good.
is good. I agree. Being flexible, good.
Stretching is good. Yes.
Also,
Yoga
but
helps
you should also like take medicine and go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Make sure you do both.
Yeah. At least do yoga. That's the least you can do for your body, because then you can stretch real good. Be flexible. So then you go to the doctor and they'll be like, oh, wow, look how flexible you are. You're actually fine. You don't need to see me for another 5 to 10 years whenever you remember.
Yeah,
more doctors
yoga
were
helps
like
you do all the weird, like, double jointed shit that you would see on the Ripley's Believe It or Not TV show. Like all the creepy.
Sorry, I'm not. What's the show called?
Ripley's Believe It or Don't.
Oh, yes, of course.
When they'd have a guy who'd be like, I can like pull my finger off because I'm double jointed.
And then it's just your uncle doing that finger hand trick.
Whoa. I don't believe
it or don't. I don't think I believe that one. I believe he's trying to trick me. I'm so excited to be an uncle. I've got 3 nieces and nephews now.
You gotta get a fart machine.
Oh, I got a fart machine, buddy. It's called my fucking butt.
The only one I'll ever need. Never runs out of batteries.
Speaking of pulling fingers, we're going down to the Sin City this week to see the littlest niece, who you've met.
I have met your niece.
And I'm very excited to do uncle shit with her, like make fun of her and give her noogies. She's got a lot of hair now, so I'm going to give her noogies constantly for the next, 12 to 20 years, I think. Is 21 years old too old to be giving somebody a noogie?
You're never too old to receive a noogie.
I'm probably going to, as soon as she's old enough to, realize what she is doing with her body, probably going to start to teach her how to do yoga, maybe some Brazilian jiu-jitsu breathing exercises.
Yeah, and then you're going to, make sure she doesn't get vaccinated. That's going to be the new you.
That's me, baby. I hate vaccines, but I love yoga. Jamie feels that she was meant for this tribe. Soka tribe, good vibes. And you know what? I also noticed about the Soka tribe, the good vibes tribe, it's the green tribe. Coincidence?
It's from the earth.
Speaking of April Truth Day. What is it called? April
Squares Day. Also, it's April in the D.
April in the D. Yeah, I think all of our teams are losing. Is that right?
Yeah, I think the Wings are okay, but the Tigers are like the worst baseball team of all time, and the Pistons are the worst basketball team in the NBA. So it's not good right now.
You know what I heard about the Wings?
What's that?
10 for $5.
Ooh, man, I could go for some wings right now.
I could always go for some rings. Some rings and some wings. Some rings for the Pistons, some wings for my belly.
Yeah, onion rings and wings, great combo.
Oh, tell me about it. Matt calls Franny his blind spot. Matt is to Franny as Sandra Bullock is to whoever the
That's not what that movie's called.
Blind Spot?
It's The Blind Side.
Blind Side. Isn't there a movie called Blind Spot?
Maybe. It's not that movie though.
This guy doesn't even know a fucking Christopher Eccleston project.
I knew one Christopher Eccleston project.
Blind Spot was a show in 2015 to 2020, starring Jamie Alexander, Ashley Johnson, Sullivan Stapleton, Audrey Esperanza, Luke Mitchell, Ennis Esmer. His
all the stars are here.
Oh, and Rob Brown. He played Edgar Raday.
What network did this air on?
I want to say NBC. It was an American crime drama television series. I told you it was real. And it lasted for 5 seasons, 100 episodes.
Oh, they hit syndication
on NBC. Yeah, well, I mean, 5 years. That's a long time. Ryan Johnson was the producer on this show.
Damn, it probably sucks then.
You don't like Ryan Johnson?
Not particularly. I think the only Ryan Johnson thing I've ever liked was the first season of American Crime Story. Or no, Ryan Johnson. I'm thinking of Ryan Murphy. Sorry, I do like Ryan Johnson.
It's also, we're thinking of the wrong Ryan Johnson, because isn't that Ryan Johnson Riann or something? Yeah, this Ryan Johnson is just a guy named Ryan.
This is store brand Ryan Johnson.
I don't know what the show's about, and I'm not reading. I don't know how to read. Okay, Blind Spot focuses on a mysterious tattooed woman, who is found inside a travel bag in Times Square in New York City by the FBI. She has no recollection of her past or her identity. They discover that her tattoos contain clues to crimes they must solve. Okay, so that's a movie, or a show. Sandra Bullock was in it. About a football player with tattoos.
Yeah, they had to solve the opposing team's playbook was tattooed on him.
You know how they say on USA, characters welcome? Here's a character show idea for them. Detective show, like Psych or Monk or any of the other ones they do. Suits, maybe. But it stars Sandra Bullock, obviously. And her partner in detective solving is a football player with many tattoos.
Retired NFL tackle Michael Oher, who is the basis for that movie.
The tattoos represent crimes that have been committed. Where are the tattoos coming from? I don't know. I'll have to watch Blind Spot and see how they dealt with it. Just rip that idea off. So that's a good idea. Coming to your TVs, March 16th.
Yeah, it's going to be on like Tubi or one of those ones.
It's gonna be on USA.
One of those ones that you can watch that has annoying ads in it all the time.
Yeah. Franny officially says that she would date Matt after the game.
I was so shocked to hear this. There's just no way to tell.
Did you hate it?
No, it's obvious they like each other. I thought it was funny that, like, if this was fun, but it's like, what? No way. I can't believe it.
Yeah. I expected you to be like, ugh, more romance.
No, I'm into it.
Not on my Survivor. Jam Jam wants to make up with Josh. Josh makes a fake idol. And then they talk about coming out and being anxious and dating. Jam Jam's story about how he felt too ugly to date anyone was really sad.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
That was not a sweet
story.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That's what the show is now, Jake. The show is every single person on the show is defined entirely by the worst thing to happen to them.
That's what Jeff's talking about when he says this is the hardest game that they've ever played.
Yes.
Even though it's, 2 weeks shorter.
As Jeff is just like leeching off of it like an energy vampire, like he's fucking Colin Robinson.
So these two men agree to vote for Krylin. Krylin over here. If Krylin goes,
There's no Krylin in baseball.
There's no Krylin baseball. Okay, so what about this immunity challenge? They had to race through obstacles, big boxes filled with big sticks, over, under hurdles, fill bucket with water, cross rope, teeter-totter, hinge platform, as Jeff calls it. Then there's a maze that they have to do balls through.
Yeah, I mean, it's a challenge. I liked the one camera angle that they had on the platform that was tilting, where it was like, it was kind of underneath them. I thought that, and it was like tilting along with it. I thought it was on the platform itself. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think they're doing a lot of cool things with the production side of things.
They have to zazz it up somehow because they use they're in the same location every year, and they're using really similar looking sets every single year, so you got to do something different.
Have you noticed also, speaking of how lazy they've gotten with production, the first half of the theme for this new era, the first half of the new title for every season has been the same. It's just the number 4. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, crazy. They're just so lazy.
Anyway, try harder. If I were on the show producing it, this season would be called Knights of the Round Table because Kane and Carson and Jeff Probst are all Knights of the Round Table that is Tribal Council.
There really is
and
like a
also Tribal
stark
Council
difference.
Would be a round table.
There's like a stark difference in terms of like watching this and watching the Traders. Like Traders, they're putting some real fucking effort into that theming.
This, they're just like, hey, you're on Fiji now, okay.
It's all about like it's. I don't know, man. Like I just think that we're getting to the point where people have confused. People are too self-aware playing this game, and it just gets into these weird things where you overthink everything, and it creates like new rules for how to do things, and that's how you get into a position where someone on the jury will like unironically say like you should have given up going to tribal council so that you could have a fire making moment. Like that's the point where it's like maybe we need to rethink how we're doing things on this show. Because it's literally,
back a little bit.
It's the equivalent of somebody being like, you won the lottery. You should spend all your winnings buying more lottery tickets.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Increase your winnings. Speaking of winning, Ratu and Soka win, which means they get to send 3 people on the journey. Brandon, Danny, and Krylin are sent on the journey, and medical checks on MGM again. Did you know that MGM was leaving at this point?
I had a feeling. As soon as he was like, I'm in a lot of pain, I was like, yeah, he's gone.
Yeah. Book, Tika, Jam reiterates that they should work together, and he points out to Josh that Carolyn is playing them both. I mean, honestly, they're right. I love Carolyn, but they're right to do this.
Yeah, Carolyn is not being honest with them. She's not trustworthy.
Over on the jury, they reach a sanctuary. This was fun.
I liked the sanctuary. I liked that it was the journey was just them getting to eat some snacks.
Yeah. Krylin says, I don't eat meat, but I do on Survivor.
Yep, that's how it's got to be.
Funny.
That's you don't have the luxury of not eating meat when you're on Survivor.
They point out how everyone from the last journey has an idol. Danny and Brandon talk about how buff they are, and Krylin feels left out. Boys Alliance, Dudes Rock.
I mean, like, Carolyn's pretty buff too, honestly. Like, why do you feel left out?
Because it's the bros talking,
Okay.
and she doesn't feel like a bro. But, you know, she's got an idol, so it's okay because she knows she's going to make it. In a talking head, she declares that she will make the merge, and it feels like the first time she's realized that. So, I don't know. I feel like maybe this could be a bit of a winner's edit.
She's been getting a ridiculous winner's edit this whole time. Like,
I love it.
It might be a bait and switch just because, like I said on Twitter, like, I do think that their policy at this point is just whoever the most annoying contestant is, they're like, that's the main character of the whole show. We're going to orient everything around them.
Who was the main character last season?
I think, honestly, like, Gabler was in a lot of ways.
So do you think Marianne was in 42?
Marianne 100% was. She was the only person Jeff talked to whenever he would talk to people.
Who was the main character in 41 then?
I'm trying to remember.
It certainly wasn't Erica.
Well, Erica's not annoying.
Despite being the winner. Well, yeah, but the last two
I'm not saying it means that they win.
Annoying.
I'm saying it means that they're like the focal point of production.
Let's see. The final 6. Erica, Deshawn, Xander, Heather, Ricard.
I mean,
Danny.
Shannon and Ricard were the main characters of that show.
Shannon and Ricard were very big part of that season. Yeah, I feel like after Ricard left, it was the Erica story. But up until then, it was all Ricard, Danny. Wow. Man, 41.
It was a good season.
A lot of fun.
That was a good season.
Good season. What a good group of folks. We had JD, Jeannie, Nasir, Evie, Shan, Liana, Danny. Xander, Deshaun. Great stuff. Okay, well, that was Survivor 41. On Survivor 44, Krylin tells them that they broed out at the sanctuary. Josh tells them that he has an idol, and then shows them the fake idol. And Jam Jam immediately recognizes it as the beads from Tree Mail.
It literally falls apart.
It was so fucking funny. Josh then talks about his horrible medical history, which made me feel like he was leaving. You know, they love to do that. Krylin tries to reconcile with Jam Jam, and then Jeff arrives at the Tika camp and tells them that Matthew had to leave the game and Tribal Council is canceled. So, how about that?
I feel bad for Matthew because I think he was playing a really good game. Also, can we talk about how insane Jeff looked at the medical consultation? He looked like he was getting off on it.
Yeah, you know he loves trauma. He loves to see others in pain. He thinks it's fun, and that's why he's hosted this show for 44
It's so
seasons.
jarring anytime we go back to see how, like, relatively normal Jeff was, and Jeff is, like, insane now.
Yeah. He would say he's just doing normal stuff, though. Just being a normal guy.
He's being regular as he's like doing like a weird leering grin at like Matthew's in extreme pain and is really sad because he has to go home. And Jeff is like, but isn't it great that you persevered through all this pain? It's like, get out of here. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you smiling at me?
He's really proud of him for, you know, I don't fucking know, like dealing with this pain for a week and a half when he shouldn't have had to.
It's like that. Did you ever watch Review, the Andy Daly TV show?
I've seen the first few episodes.
Have you seen the They're All Is Aching one?
I don't think so.
There's an episode where the question is just they're all is aching, and that is what Forrest has to review, and it gradually drives him insane. And there's a point where he's in an institution getting electroshock therapy, and at one point, because he starts talking like that, like even when he's doing the narration, his like, what's the word I'm looking for? His like speech patterns are kind of similar to that. There's a better word for that, but I can't remember it. But anyway, at one point he's getting shocked by one of the nurses, and he goes, "Nurse, why are smiling? Why are smiling?" And that's how I feel seeing Jeff in that scene.
That's fair. Okay, we should talk about the wildlife shots before we get out of here.
Yes.
Get out of here. We have a million more segments, but okay. So wildlife shots. So we had a snake. You know, snakes. They're all over the place.
Yeah, snakes and rats. Classic Survivor.
Speaking of rats, there wasn't any rats on Survivor, but they played a big part in this week's episode of The Traitors.
They did.
Thomas, did you know that ultra rats as big as rabbits are set to invade Scottish homes within weeks? This is an article from September 13th.
They got to get Alan Cumming out of there now.
September 13th, 2022, excuse me.
Airlift Alan Cumming out of Scotland.
The animals have flourished. You're going to love this, Thomas. The animals have flourished through feeding and breeding and will be seeking refuge as temperatures fall.
That's rough.
This is gross. I clicked on this article because I thought it would be funny, but the more I read
it's
it,
not
the
a
more
pleasant.
grossed out
It's
I
not
am.
a pleasant thought.
Anyway, they had big rats on the Traitors, and
they're the giant rats who make all of the rules.
Yeah. Okay, so last week, Thomas, you had won 15 points. So good job. Double digits. That's great. We saw you get a point for Lauren surviving. I got a point for Kane surviving on Ratatouille. I, of course, was at 19 points last week. Not a big deal, but it is 4 points ahead of you. Soka had seen Danny survive and Franny survive. They're future contestants on Survivor Rhyme Crimes.
We're hitting. It's getting close to May, which is Dan's and Fran's season.
I'm looking here. I got a point for Jam Jam surviving on Tika, but it says here Helen. Helen? Can that be right? Did you say Helen?
I don't know
survived to the
her.
merge?
I'm not aware of this person.
We said Soka. You said Soka. I said Ratatouille would win reward. There was not a reward challenge, but they did get a reward at the sanctuary. If you'll grant me that.
I think we could.
like
I think we could just both not get points for that. I think us both getting points for it is the same as neither of us getting points.
Well, I would agree with you, but you had said pizza, and I said watermelon. There actually was watermelon on the table, but I didn't see any pizza, so...
Yeah, well, I'll give you... Yeah, you can get a point for that.
Yeah, thank you. You said Ratatouille would win immunity. I said Soko would win immunity. We both did. I said Jam Jam would be... Not Jam Jam. You said Jam Jam would be leaving. I said MGM would be leaving, and it was, in fact, MGM.
Wow, you got a fucking technicality win there, the best kind.
Thank you. Sometimes it's right to trust the next time on previews. So you've got 18 now. I've got 23. Did you see the next week on Survivor promo?
No, I never watched those.
Well, Thomas, it's looking like the merge. So our time with Ratatouille, Soka, and Tika are done. Who are you going to pick going into the merge?
I'm sticking with Danny.
Let's make it to final tribal council. Danny, you love a Manny named Danny. I'm between two people. Who do you think the two people I want to pick are?
Carolyn is one of them. Mm-hmm. And I think Jamie is the other one.
You're right. And I do have a feeling, like, as much as I love Carolyn, I do have a feeling Jamie is gonna, like, bubble up as the season goes. I could see her winning. Nobody's thinking about her now, but I am. I should check how I'm doing in the fantasy league because I've been doing pretty poorly so far. I think I'm like 27th of 30.
How bad am I doing?
Like that. I usually do pretty well. I came in like the top 3 in 2 of the previous seasons I've participated in, but this is not my season. So luckily I'm winning here at least. Okay, so who will win the next reward challenge?
I'm gonna say Soka. I think that seems like an easy choice.
Okay. I'm going to say Danny. What will the reward be?
Oh, wait. Yeah, duh. Sorry, it's individual stuff now.
Yeah, too late now.
Well,
It's too
okay,
late,
no, I
actually.
get to pick. You pick Danny.
They're probably going to do that earn the merge challenge, to be honest.
Yeah,
so.
probably. Do we want to pick a tribe and a person?
No, I'm going to stick with my person.
Okay. You found your person. I'm going to say Brandon.
Okay. What will the reward be?
Gosh, probably a feast of some sort, I would think. Although they're probably not going to do that.
Fucking goofy over here.
Yeah, I'll say champagne.
Good answer. I'll say...
Or you know what? Sparkling wine. Sorry. That includes champagne, Prosecco, any kind of sparkling wine.
Mm-hmm. Mixing a white wine with a LaCroix.
Yeah, a little spritzer.
Yeah. I'll say pork chops.
Okay.
I don't even know what a pork chop is technically, but
you know what
like
yeah, you do. It's a pork chop.
I know what a pork chop is. Like I know what a pork chop is. Pork chop sandwiches, but like as I'm thinking about it, I think I'm thinking of ribs, but I know they're not ribs.
No,
they're pork chops.
You know what a pork chop is. I know that you know what a pork chop is.
I'm gonna say ribs.
Okay.
Is pork chops just pig's ribs?
No.
Is ribs pig's ribs?
Yes.
What's pork chops then?
They're fucking pork chops. What is it? It's a loin cut taken perpendicular to the spine of the pig and is usually a rib or part of a vertebrae. So I guess it is a little bit of rib.
Well, I can't believe you had that definition directly from your
Pork
brain
chops are
immediately.
unprocessed and leaner than other cuts. Chops are commonly served as an individual portion and can be accompanied with applesauce, vegetables, and other sides.
Then what is McRib?
I mean, that's proprietary information. That's trade secrets.
What are they going to come out with McPorkchop?
I would eat the fuck out of a fast food pork chop sandwich. If it was a deep fry, if it was a fried pork chop, ooh, got some breading around that. Let's go.
Who's going to win immunity?
Good question.
I ask it every week.
I'm gonna say Brandon still also.
Is Brandon the NFL player?
Yes.
Ah, damn, that's who I was going to pick. All right, I'm going to stick with my Manny Danny.
Yeah. I mean, Danny's a great pick.
Yeah. Although it's probably like some balancing thing, so it's probably going to be... I don't know. Those are always so hard.
The challenge is going to be who knows the
guess.
least about firefighting.
And Danny's going to win? That's nerve-wracking.
Yeah, somehow he managed to overcome the obstacles.
Well, he actually knew all the right answers, so he could easily answer
It's like
all the wrong
Mike making
answers.
fire. I know how not to do it.
Yeah. Okay, so who will be the first person voted out once all of the tribes come together?
Josh. It's going to be Josh.
Yeah. That's a good call. I'll say Brandon, I guess. I don't know. I loved how Brandon and Danny were like, big buff guys, us jocks never win Survivor. I looked it up. I think something like the last 16 winners, 11 of them have been jocks. So I don't know if their logic of buff guys never win really holds, but whatever.
Well, it's official. It's illegal now to be good at physical challenges if you want to win Survivor. So it's cancel culture these days.
Yeah, cancel buff men, These Timothy Chalamets out here. Michael Cera. Other soft boys, soy boys.
Yeah.
Soy boys on Survivor. Yeah, back in my day it was called Survivor, not Soyvivor.
Yeah, you tell them.
Okay, so should Panera show up, or if they get toilet paper from Charmin, the company will get 2 points for either of those showing up. Pretty exciting stuff. Let's talk traders.
Let's go to Trader Joe. All that bad shit you eating is gonna take a toll. They got some healthy food for you and it's for the low. I
can't wait to talk traders.
We had seen this episode. It was called Cabin in the Woods. I think this is the 8th episode. Is that right?
Was it the 8th? I thought it was the 9th. Maybe I'm wrong though.
Anyway, either way, we're late in the season, and that's very exciting. They've recruited Ari, and he accepted. Did I not say this would happen? I did. I did say it would be Ari.
Yeah.
Stephanie LaGrossa has been murdered. Wait, Stephanie has been murdered.
Okay, no. I think it was 8 maybe then. Are you reading a description? Because this is not the episode I watched.
Stephanie has been murdered, they all think, but then she knocks at the door, so they all think that Ari's shield protected him from getting murdered last night. But actually, that's not at all what happened. Nobody got murdered.
Doesn't this episode start with Ari being revealed as the new traitor?
Yeah. Yeah, we already talked about that. Or I mentioned it, you just didn't respond, I think.
Yeah.
Is what happened.
Well, you know how it is. Sometimes things distract me.
Christian then tells them that do you remember this? Christian tells the whole group that he was recruited as a traitor, but said no.
What the fuck are you doing, dude? What was this?
Such a bad
What was he
move.
cooking? There was no reason to do this.
He's like, Cody's gone. Time for a new dumbass traitor.
It's like he had done such a good job of not drawing attention, like, at all.
Yeah.
Like, nobody was on to him, and he was like, I'm going to solidify it by saying that being like, I was recruited, but I turned it down. Like, what what are you thinking?
Why would you say that if you weren't a traitor? Like, who would have what faithful would have that information?
This is like you just pulled off a heist and you start like spending all the money right away. Like, bro, you know we have to kill you now, right? You're drawing too much heat.
So naturally, Suri and Ari are pissed.
What a rude awakening. Like, Ari's like, you guys have been killing it. Like, I had no idea. You guys are doing awesome. And the minute he gets there and it's like, I can't wait to play with these guys, Christian is like, I'm going to blow this whole thing up for no fucking reason.
You know what I just realized? Speaking of Survivor rhyme crimes, which I don't think we've ever done yet. What if Suri and Ari were a pair?
That doesn't really rhyme, though.
Well, that's why it's a crime.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good point.
So they are mad. What did you think of Alan Cumming's dressing?
It was out of control this week. I loved it.
It was an all gray plaid suit with a brown fedora.
Yeah, Andy had a fucking like identical color plaid handkerchief that was around his neck as well. That shit was crazy. It was great. Every week I keep thinking, it's like, how is he going to top this? And he keeps doing it.
And he always does. I remember thinking when I saw that one, I was like, you know, last week he came out with every color of the rainbow on his suit. I don't know how he's going to do anything better. And he comes back with like the most basic but garish and like exciting gray suit. It was great.
Yeah, he's
great.
He's serving. We love it.
A brown fedora that doesn't at all match. It's a little off his head, a little too much. God. It's so funny. I love it. I hope it never changes.
I love Alan Cumming so much.
I hope whoever is producing The Traitors and is listening to this show isn't taking this as criticism.
No, this is... Do not change anything.
We love it. It's so good.
Yeah. Keep the outfits coming. Keep the outfits Alan Cumming.
That's really good. Say how they have to solve puzzles in a cabin. There's gross bugs and rats. Stephanie, Andy, and Ari and Rachel have won. And Kate says, you know how they say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger? I don't want to be any stronger. That's fine. Kate is growing on me.
Yeah, a little bit. She needs to get past some of her own bullshit, but she's entertaining. And she pulled through for them because Suri was non-functional the entire time. She was just screaming.
Meanwhile, Ari again gets the shield. Da-da, 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 da-da. Remember?
Of course. Sierra Hotel India Echo Lima Delta.
Rachel and Kate immediately go after each other at the round table, and Rachel is voted out. Of course Rachel is voted out. Kate's a shield.
It's so funny to watch this go back and forth every single time between two people who are faithful. And no one ever goes back to the drawing board. Like, the thing that I kept thinking with this was, how did no one coming into this game, like, people know who Suri is.
No one Alan Cumming.
Yeah, no one Alan coming into this game. People know who Suri is. I get that, like, naturally all of us want to be Suri's friend and to play with Suri. But I feel like going into that game, it's like, who would be the most dangerous person to be a traitor? The answer is obviously Suri. Okay, this game has been a complete disaster for the faithful. They keep voting each other out. They keep choosing between two options who are faithful. It almost couldn't be going worse. It never occurs to you that maybe Suri is a traitor? Like, no, couldn't be. It's a testament to how well she plays, but like, she's
nice. She's a nice lady.
It's just crazy that they're like, you got to change something. It's like people they're stuck on the same thing every time.
I feel like every time she mentions, like, I'm doing this to prove my faithfulness, people are like, that makes a lot of sense.
This is a game where you can't listen to anything that anyone says. You have to look at what they do. But
even Suri is like, she's voting with everybody. She's voting with the house every time.
Yeah, I did think that it was an unforced error on her part voting for Rachel this time around. I think that she could have voted for Kate and gotten more cred that way. By being
Yeah.
like, I stuck to my guns on Rachel. I knew that my instincts were right. I knew that she wasn't a traitor because it wouldn't have mattered. Rachel was still going to get voted out, and Kate would still be there as a shield.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think she just doesn't want to upset anyone, so like voting with the majority every time
I think part
not
of
gonna
it
raise any suspicion.
I think part of it is to keep trust with Kate too, because the best strategy that they have is keeping Kate in the game as long as possible.
Yeah, and even Kate realizes that now. So yeah, yeah. Traitors continues to be good. You gonna watch season 2? I don't know if they've announced it yet, but
Yeah,
I'm assuming
I
it's
mean,
gonna
we'll
have a
see.
season
Unless
2.
there's some sort of catastrophically bad ending to this, then yeah.
Yeah, like fucking Roman Reigns winning when it's
Yeah, they're gonna come out. Yeah, Cerie's gonna be about to hit a Three Amigos crossroads on someone, and then they're gonna come. Yeah, she's gonna get hit with the Samoan spike and then get speared.
by somebody who is. Yeah, Cody's gonna come back. It's like you've already been eliminated. The Traitors has been renewed for season 2 at Peacock.
Hell yeah.
Excuse me. The Traitors has been renewed for season 2 at the Cock. That would be a funny little Photoshop to do. The Peacock logo, but instead of P-E-A, it says the T-H-E.
Yeah, and then you have like a rainbow colored penis.
You have a rainbow-colored penis. What is this, gay pride parade? It's not June. It's April. April in the D.
That's right.
Thomas, did you watch the challenge last night?
Nope.
World Championship? Okay, well, it was called Everybody Wants to Rule the World. What did you think of that title?
Great title.
They had to drink a nasty smoothie, and then one person was swung around on a tractor while the other threw them rings that they had to throw in a basket. Pretty fun challenge. Big tractors. Who won? Didn't write that down. I think Darrell and Kiki won. I might be wrong, though. And the house came to a stalemate in their voting, so now the winning team has to decide who goes in of everybody left in the house. Pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
They didn't eliminate anybody. It ended in a cliffhanger.
Cool. Was there any music?
Yeah, there was music. This is a segment called Music Minute.
Music make you lose control. Music make you lose control.
They made fun of what are their names? Jordan and Tori for not wanting to vote each other because they used to be engaged. So somebody sang the wedding march, and that was funny. And then this song, it was released. There was only one real song. It was released at some point. I couldn't find the release date. Sorry. It's 198 beats per minute, 3 minutes and 23 seconds. It's in English. The writers are unknown. It's aggressive / angry, atmospheric, building, cinematic, dark, dramatic, dynamic, emotional, exciting, energetic, suspense, and sweeping. Do you want to hear the instruments in it?
Sure.
Bass, drum machine, drums, drum, percussion, bass, guitar distortion, keyboards, other, percussion, piano, samples, strings, sub bass, synthesizers, vocal female, vocal ooze woos.
Can you give me like a time period that this was released in?
Probably. I think this song is like not. There's no Wikipedia article I'm finding, but I can do some quick. I can do some quick Google. Let's see. It's a pop song. The singer has the same name as you,
Okay.
but a different, another variation.
Okay.
thereof.
So it's not a Tom York song, is what I'm hearing.
It's not a Tom York song, but if you spelled your name differently, and he's also originally from where you're originally from.
What?
He's from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Man, who's from Grand Rapids that does music?
His last name sounds like a stage name, but isn't, according to Wikipedia. He is known for his production work with American rapper NF. Do you know NF?
No.
Well, they both met while they were in Michigan, and he's a producer now. Cinematic songs collections. He's got a lot dating between 2017 and 2019. 2020, he came out with an album called "The Birth of a King." Any hints? Any ideas?
No.
Yet? He's won several Dove Awards and been nominated for even more. He's been featured in Batwoman, Nancy Drew, Tell Me a Story, Station 19, The Bold Type, Spanish Princess, World of Dance, Marvel's Cloak and Dagger, All American, Black Ink Crew, Chicago, The Enemy Within, Siesta Keith, Titan Games, Legacies, Charmed, The Girl in the Spider's Web, Tell Me a Story, Hard Knocks, The Challenge, Champs vs. Stars, The Good Doctor, The Brave, The Power, Prison Break, Black Ink Crew, Quantico, Rain, The Expanse, Bones, Queen Sugar, Containment, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Scream the TV series.
I don't know who this is.
It's called A Storm is Coming by Tommy Prophet.
I've literally never heard of that band in my life.
Sorry, it was the only song they played other than the wedding march. And I didn't feel like that was a good option for the Music Minute. How would I even give you hints for that? You'll hear this one at weddings.
Nice to know that someone from Grand Rapids is putting out music that's getting featured on The Challenge and many other television programs.
Yes. Speaking of things, I'm sending you a DM right now for this week's Probst quiz.
So nasty that it's probably somewhat of a travesty having me. Then he told the people you could call me your majesty.
Oh, I cannot wait.
This week's is called What Role Would You Play on Survivor? This is a good quiz. It's time to see what label you'd get from the fans if you had to be on Survivor. Ooh, and this one is from the fans, so... this is from Jenstagram. She's a community contributor. 15,250 points. Do you have the other quiz open?
I do, yeah.
First and foremost, where are you hoping your season takes place? Panama, the Amazon, Pearl Islands, Africa, Guatemala, Palau, Cook Islands, Marquesas. I want to say Marquesas, the Ultimate Vibes location. What do you
I was thinking about it, but I think I'm going to say Pearl Islands.
That was my second choice, honestly. What is the first thing you're going to do at camp? Start the shelter and or fire, seek out allies, lay down and relax, try to gather everyone to form a plan, make friends, start to search for food and water, assess the situation, ask where help is needed,
assess the situation and help when asked.
I'm going to start to build a shelter and or fire. Hopefully not in the same place, am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a good question. What challenge would you thrive at? Swimming relay, trivia, all of them, bug eating, puzzles, anything that involves teamwork, maze, or I wouldn't.
Trivia.
I knew you were going to pick that. I'm going to say anything that involves teamwork. I'm a good team player. Everybody loves me. Pick a color for your buff. Black, blue, red, yellow, green, purple, orange. I'm okay with any color. I'm picking purple. Color of royalty. Pick your ideal reward. Yacht getaway with only 2 other tribe mates. Fishing gear. Cultural experience. Barbecue for the whole tribe. Video message from my family. Just some brownies. A cold beer. Blankets and pillows. They don't have a date with Jeff Probst and watch the first 5
I couldn't
minutes
help
of
but
Survivor
notice that they
here.
didn't have that. I'm going to say yacht getaway.
I'm going to say cultural experience because I think that sounds fun. Who do you eventually make an alliance with? Anyone and everyone. Some of my original tribe mates. Nobody. My closest friend. My lover. My strongest physical threat. Like-minded people. Or the sea. You know, the coconut sales.
I'm going to say some of my original tribe mates.
Yeah, classic. I'm going to say my closest friend. Thanks, bud. Who is the first person you would vote off? Someone who doesn't help in challenges, someone who is too bossy, someone who is lazy around camp, annoys me the most, everyone else is voting for, my biggest threat, somebody who hasn't pulled their weight, or whoever I feel like.
Too bossy.
Too
Get
bossy.
the
That's a good
Boston
call.
Robs out of there.
That's how they should have spelled it. Boston. I will first vote, I'm going to say somebody who hasn't pulled their weight at all. Hopefully it's not me, you know? Finally, who is your favorite survivor? Rupert, Ethan, Ozzy, Parvati, Yowman, Sue, Hawk, Coach, Richard
I would love for
Hatch.
them to give me different choices than this, but I'll say Parvati.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go.
Oh no, I'm a villain.
That's good. I'm going to say it's between Ethan and Richard. I think I'll go with Ethan. Winner. Wow, look at you. You did it. You outwitted, outplayed, and outlasted all of your competitors. You're extremely smart, but also a genuinely good person. You have a strong set of skills and determination that help you go all the way. You also had the wherewithal and integrity to stand in good favor with the jury when the final vote came into play. Congratulations on becoming the sole survivor. Thank you. What does yours say?
You have absolutely no moral compass when it comes to this game. You have no real alliances, and you'll do whatever it takes to win. This is not like, is this because I picked Parvati? This does not track with any of the other choices that I made. Be it going back on your word or betraying your closest friend. You have no shame, and that's fine. You're a proud Slytherin. It's fucking annoying. Cunning, calculated, and manipulative. This is Survivor. This is not Harry Potter, okay? You come very close to winning, but only get taken to the final two so the other person can secure their win because they know the jury fully hates you. Well, congrats on taking me to the end so you could win.
Yeah. That was my plan all along. Okay, so, Thomas, has anybody sent you any quotes quizzes on Twitter yet?
No, I don't think so.
Well, if they wanted to, where would they do that?
You can send it to me at tom.tom.
And what are the rules for the quotes quizzes?
I don't remember. It has to be a quiz.
It has to be a BuzzFeed quiz, and it has to be related to Survivor in some way.
You can get creative with that, I guess.
Some way. Yeah. You can follow the show on Twitter at DYWSLN. That's the initials of the show, or on Instagram at The Only Survivor Podcast. It's not even true anymore. It's Jeff Probst has his own podcast now. We've been doing this shit since 20-something. And now it's 20-something else. Jeff Probst never even contacted me to produce this
Ridiculous.
podcast. Can you believe that? We have a few shows on Patreon, too, that are also produced by us and not Jeff Probst. You can find them at patreon.com/justpodcast. Thomas, did you want to shout any one of them out?
Yeah, okay. Let's shout out Just Joey, a classic.
A classic podcast for a classic band like Shadena or, I don't know, Rupert,
Yeah, sure.
Joe Brandon, Mikhail Gorbachev, Jeff Probst. I'm just thinking of like some normal guys.
Yeah, just regular
Just some
guys.
normal guys, you know. Just regular guys. Bus driver, doctor, game show host, game show contestant. These are all just some guys you can be. Pilot, fighter pilot, a lover pilot, summer lover. Thomas, would you call yourself a summer lover?
No.
Well, I am. And that's why I always say, have a great summer. Have a great summer, Thomas, I said.
Yeah?
Did you hear? I said,
What
have a
about
great
it?
summer.
Deuces.
We shall begin. We're not on the rocks. Well, there's no charge in this land. Right now, some are insane, and they're in charge. To hell with poverty. We'll get drunk.
The McMahons are it is kind of like wrestling Succession in a way. It's a kind of similar dynamic.
It really is. It's really fun to watch. They should do a parody of Succession on WWE television.
Yeah,
if you
who's
ask
who
me.
there? I feel like, I mean, Stephanie is Shiv, obviously.
Stephanie is Shiv. Vince is. So that makes Triple H the Tom?
Yeah, obviously Triple H is Tom.
Yeah, 100%. Vince is Logan. Who's.
Shane is Kendall, I think, because he was away from the company
Kendall.
for a while.
Yeah, okay. I was trying to remember his name.
Yeah, there isn't really a Roman, to be honest.
Well, I mean, I feel like maybe Roman Reigns could play Roman.
Yeah, that's, well, the name definitely helps there.
I mean, Survivor, same names.
Who's the cousin
Let's do that
Greg?
for a simulated season. The cousin Greg. That's the star of the show.
It's like John Laurinaitis.
No, what? No, it's got to be somebody we like.
Cousin
Maybe Seth
Greg,
Rollins.
Greg is a piece of shit.
Nobody's funny though. Who's
John
who's
Laurinaitis was funny
and
when John
tall?
Laurinaitis was doing the fucking. You didn't like People Power?
I thought I don't want to put John Laurinaitis in our fantasy show for reasons that
Yeah,
are
because he's a
John
fucking
Laurinaitis
because
is
he's
person.
a horrible fucking creep. Yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
It's wrestling, dude. That's like half the people involved in wrestling.
No, the wrestlers I like are good people.
Yeah, they're all
actually.
good people. They're fucking carnies.
Cousin Greg. You know who's really tall and on WWE TV and they love to put in things? Omos. Omos, excuse me. Omos. I
The
forget his
Undertaker
name.
is cousin Greg.
That's good casting right there. Why?
Just trying to keep you on your toes.
Yeah, good stuff. That's how you're gonna beat me at
That's
Final Drama
right.
Council.
This is classic gamesmanship.
You'll pull out a hidden immunity I don't know.
I was
when they're
pretending
out.
not to hear so that I could gain the upper hand.
That would be such a great Final Travel strategy. Sorry, can you speak up? I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I was thinking about other things.
I
I was thinking
had
about
a lot on
really
my
funny
mind.
joke earlier.
Smarten up, Probst.